I'm really drawn to certain ways that the divine is described in the biblical teachings, and the ways that really interest me are as direct experience. And there's a few ways that this direct experience is described. One is, the first is a kind of level of logic. It says God is the truth, but not just the truth, a truth that sets you free. So then what is it that we want to become free of? And we can ask ourselves that question. We don't need to refer to, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita. You don't need that. You can look at your own life and say, well, what do I want freedom from? So I would say generally what people want freedom from, and this is echoed in the Tao Te Ching and the Buddhist texts as well, is that we all want to be free of suffering. And we could also call freedom from suffering happiness. So really, that's what we're all after in one way or another. And really simply what the spiritual teachings of the different world religions and, wherever else are teaching us is that our attempt to become happy only through the world, only through money and fame and whatever other means we use as a source of happiness. Really what they're trying to teach us is, yeah, you'll get some happiness, some fulfillment from that, but it will never be enough. The desire for earthly things is unquenchable. So we want another hit, a bigger hit. We're endlessly chasing. So the spiritual teachings, if we come back to the way that, again, we can use the word God, we can use the word Tao, or universal consciousness. There's so many ways we could use to describe whatever that is. But the different ways is, one, the truth that therefore must set us free from suffering. Another way it's described, a sense of peace. Again, that's a direct experience that we can all have, but a peace that transcends understanding. Understanding, of course, meaning our mind, our reason, our intellect, any chance to, quantize it, to take hold of it. It can't be grasped, but yet it still remains. So there's a peace that transcends understanding. Another way that it's described is the way and the light. So the way of things, again, Lao Tzu describes the ultimate truth as the Tao, which is translated to the way of the universe, or the way of nature, the way of ourselves, the way of life, things happening. The light, a sense of lightness and beauty that, again, we can perceive within our own being. We might get it from watching a sunrise, or looking out over a still ocean or forest. Also, it's described as love, that whoever dwells in a sense of love, the direct experience that we can have of love, in the experience of love, we're in the mystery. It describes that we're in God and God is in us if we're in a state of love. So all these we don't need to philosophize about. These are direct perceptions that if we can learn how to transcend or quiet our mind, and we experience that peaceful presence in meditation, what Christ is saying in the biblical teaching is that is it. That's the truth. That's the light, the way. If we can notice the way of things in life, the harmony, the coming and going of the seasons, the different emotional states, all of that is the truth as well. If we love someone, including ourselves, in that moment, we're in that presence. So it's not complicated. Our mind wants to make it complicated and philosophize and argue for or against, but all that has to, it doesn't have to be, but it can be let go of, and we can perceive the truth right now through the peace, through the love, through all those means, just noticing the way of our own being and the way of life. We can find it all in those states, here and now.